Collective for October 2nd. We have got the Ten of Swords, so anything bad that you've been going through lately, Collective, it finally came into focus, and that's how much you're going to realize, or that's how you're going to realize that it's over. Nothing else can happen past this point unless it's positive, unless it's for your productivity, for your benefit, and yeah, don't be afraid to look on the bright side right now. Even though you may be kind of still in the middle of the mess, it seems like it's impossible right now for anything else to be heaped upon you, and these painful endings were simply because you may have been holding on to something that should have left your life a while ago, but being hopeful, being understanding, kept you holding on to it. So take it for what it is, and it looks like something that you should have let go of a while ago has finally let go of you. Take it as a sign that it's time for you to move on. Ophiuchus, this is your daily for October 2nd. We've got the devil. Our good old friend the devil. I believe that I am supposed to tell you that the devil is a gentleman. The devil opens the door. It is you who walks through. Now, the same could be said for a lot of things in life, right? Opportunities open to you, and they may seem like they're a bad choice. They may seem like they're a good choice, and later on, you are just proven wrong. Somebody else may be proven right, and I think it's more important to note that you're willing to walk through the door, and you're willing to open the door yourself. And just because you're willing to open the door yourself does not mean that you are doing yourself a disservice. And it's likely that that's what's being presented to you, that, well, if you're willing to do something, well, then it's not a good opportunity. You need to reach higher, you need to do more, and they're not going through the same things that you are. What somebody else sees as destructive behavior is not really destructive behavior depending on your situation. Obviously, don't do anything that hurts yourself or anybody else, but if someone's trying to say that you going towards a certain job path or a certain career, it's likely that anything that you do, they're going to find a devil in the detail to try and use against you, and it's important that you realize that about this person, about these people. They may be hammered into these, or chained to these beliefs, these laws, and not even laws, not even like modern rule of law to keep people safe. It's the some kind of old school, old belief that means that you should do this and you should do that and you should do it this way, and it's likely that even their own beliefs have had quite the update over the years as they were wrought, and it's not your job to teach them at this point. It's time to act on your own behalf. Aries, this is your daily tarot card for October 2nd. We have the Emperor in reverse. The Emperor in reverse is your major arcana card, or in any position, it's your major arcana card, Aries, and I cannot speak. It's likely that somebody may have caught you off guard or decided that they were in a position of rule over you, and it kind of has you stumbling, looking for, like, how did I get into this position? How did I get into this situation where it doesn't matter what I do, I'm not doing enough, or I'm not doing the right thing, even if I'm following the written rule and following the instructions to the T. It's very important that you recognize what, not necessarily why, but how it is that this control is being exercised over you, and determine whether or not it's necessary. I don't think it's your lack of discipline that's being shown here with the Emperor in reverse. I think it's somebody else's, and they may be using you to clean up their mess, and maybe even trying to blame you for it at the same time. Taurus, this is your daily tarot card for October 2nd. The world in reverse. Things are just not working out the way that you thought that they would, and while you may be trying to close some chapters, close some books on your own behalf, taking shortcuts is not the way to get there. It just isn't. It's just going to cause more delays and more issues to pop up, and something that should have taken 5 minutes is now taking a week. And kind of the more that you try and force this door closed, force this chapter closed, force something to be over and done with, the more it's going to remain open. Because even you know what the right thing to do is, and it's going to stay incomplete until you kind of, I think this is really a situation of give and receive. Give closure to receive closure. Gemini, this is your daily tarot card for October 2nd. The Page of Cups in reverse. Now, Page of Cups in reverse is someone who is emotionally immature. Now, I think this is both, this is kind of like the cup is being passed back and forth between you and somebody else. Trying to see where the other person's insecurity is, and they're kind of mirroring you back to you. And you're not getting the answer that you want. You're not getting the kind of feedback that you need in order to get what you want out of this situation. Maybe this is also trying to remind you of a situation that you were in before, whenever you were younger. And maybe it's just replaying with this person and you didn't realize it. You didn't realize that this was just a recapping of things that never really had any closure to begin with. Even if it did in person, where you cut each other out of your lives. Like they say they cut you out, you say they cut you cut them out, you know, and so forth. It is it may be more important for you to stop focusing on the disappointment that you're not getting what you want, and focus on something else, another relationship, another idea. Focusing on this whole back and forth is what's distracting you from a path that you will really get something out of. Cancer, this is your daily tarot card for October 2nd. You know, I stopped doing the deck clearings there for a minute because I don't know, there just wasn't that much feedback on the videos and stuff, but I think I'm going to at least do them, if nothing else, off camera, because I do believe almost every card that I've pulled so far is in the reverse, including this one. It's likely right now, Cancer, that your ideas are not, your dreams are not turning out to be what you thought they would be. Maybe you had some premonitions that are not coming to fruition, and even though it seemed like it was prophecy, it may have just been a very realistic dream, a very convincing kind of fallacy of your own mind to help satisfy you for the moment. And it may be important that you acknowledge that at this point in time. However, whenever you do this, you're releasing the fear of maybe I was wrong, of maybe I need to do something else about this, and acknowledging how you truly feel about these different situations is going to help you work through them and get past them. So, even though part of this is confusing, that's more of an indication that you need to follow your intuition, and if you misinterpret something, it's fine. It's fine. It seems like you may have been having some kind of like premonition or deja vu lately, and kind of backtracking and seeing what was real about those premonitions, those dreams, will help you work through quite possibly some of the illusions that you've been under in your daily life. Leo, this is your daily tarot card for October, I almost said September 22nd. This is for October 2nd. And here we go. Leo, you've got the Chariot in reverse. Okay, another reverse card for today. Yeah, any movements that you're trying to make, whether it's in a relationship or with your family, with a physical vehicle, any way that you're trying to go, it seems like it's 2 steps forward, 3 steps back, and you're even further behind than you were whenever you first started off. So it's going to be important that you say, okay, what's going on here? And is there something that I've lost track of? It's likely if you thought that you could step forward a few steps, that you could kind of bypass the rules and regulations of something, or you could bypass the way things that they're normally supposed to go. That's what's backfiring. And if it didn't in another situation, if things went very smooth in one situation where it's like, hey, I jumped the gate in 3 different situations and didn't have any consequence, and those consequences are coming back on you now. Treating things with a sense of aggression or arrogance is not going to really get you anywhere, so it's going to be much more important that you recognize why it is that you're being set back. And the more you refuse to see the reality of a situation, of what's going on, and that maybe you're partially at least to at fault for why things keep getting set back. You keep getting set back so you can get some perspective. Utilize that perspective to fix something, not to find a way around it. Virgo, this is your daily tarot card for October 2nd. There is a debt clearing in the very near future, even if I don't post it. Trust me, because I'm tired of getting every single card in the reverse. Virgo, today you have Justice in reverse, a portal that you feel like you should have been able to step through, a door you should have been able to go through, has not been opened for you. It's quite possible that this is because of a lack of acknowledgement, a lack of someone really having your back, and telling you one thing and then doing another. So if there are some promises that have been broken, or some oversight that they didn't realize was in place, you may kind of have to distance yourself from a situation, because you expecting somebody else to give you an answer is not going to happen. A devil is not going to come forth and open the door for you to walk through. And I don't know, it feels like somewhere in here there's some kind of punishment, but ensure that you're not the one punishing yourself. Don't feel guilty for looking into the background of something, or getting some original documentation to really be able to understand what's going on and why maybe you haven't gotten what it is that you were promised. Libra, this is your daily for October 2nd. This is the first one that I've noticed that annoying string on this cloth, and it's going to stay there. But you could be realizing some of the details of what you have been told. Libra, there's a possibility that someone with the Page of Swords, that someone expected you to read between the lines, and that's not the kind of relationship that you had with this person. Initially, it was a straightforward, like, you say this, you mean this, you do this, and there's something about this person that is making you, or their actions, the results of their actions, that has you looking at them and questioning, were they really doing what it is that they said they were going to do? Did they really follow through? And you may be looking at everything with a wider scope right now. And as much as it's making you nervous, you're also not afraid to look at something for what it is rather than what you've been told it is. So don't stay the page forever, and don't settle for being a knight either. Scorpio, this is your daily for October 2nd. So, the King of Swords in the upright. There is the possibility that someone is kind of standing on business, keeping their word, and the kings for me are always managing the situation as it is for its to maintain. Because a king comes to power to, whenever he's in the upright, maintain and care for things as they are. Now, in the reverse, you could kind of see them as if they were utilizing it for their own means. But in the upright, this is someone who's not afraid to make the choice that needs to be made. They don't need to talk to 20 people about it. They don't need to find an excuse for what it is that they want to do. They do it, and they do it for the right reasons. So, or what they believe to be the right reasons. This could be someone who comes off as an authority figure, but I'm not really seeing a badge or anything like that. So, if you're unsure about where a decision is coming from that somebody else is doing, I'm actually seeing a younger person who may be going on a tangent or making some choices that don't really make a lot of sense, but if you ask them about it, they will be able to clarify and give you their reasons for their choices. Sagittarius, this is your daily for October 2nd. The Fool in reverse. One way isn't working out the way that you thought it was. One path is not leading you to where you wanted to be. Holding back is doing you a greater service than moving forward on something that it doesn't really seem like it was a plan that was well thought out by somebody else, and maybe you were following them, and maybe their intent was to leave you behind. Maybe their intent was to kind of put you in difficult situations and see how you reacted, hoping that you would give up. And now you're looking at this path like, well, where did you go, for one, and what was the entire point of that? I don't think this indecision is your indecision. I think it's somebody else's, because they didn't want to tell you they didn't want you to come with them. They didn't tell you that they wanted to do this on their own, and it feels like there is something for you to go back to, and something is trying to lead you back there. If something didn't work out, if another person seems to be leaving you behind, take the hint and do yourself a service and understand that if it's not working out, maybe it's for a good reason. Capricorn, this is your daily tarot card for October 2nd. Eight of Swords, because, you know, just whenever I get to the point where I think this isn't going to come up in a daily, it comes up. And it's making its rounds, guys, so kind of bear with it. But this is a card of proving that you may be stuck in your negative thoughts. And if they're not your negative thoughts, you could just be constantly faced with negative thoughts that other people have about you, or because of you, or for whatever the reason, right? And you're kind of standing there like, okay, so I'm damned if I do, I'm damned if I don't, and just throw me over the damn bridge already, right? And I feel like there's a lot of empty threats here. That bridge thing came up because I'm looking at this pool of water at the bottom, and it's like, the figure here is tied up. The figure here is bound by something that other people have bound them by, and now maybe this is an empty threat that, oh, we're going to throw you in the river, we're going to throw you overboard, we're going to leave you out to sea and put you in an even more difficult situation. It's like somebody has you entrapped in this agreement or in this whatever this is, but ensure you're not intentionally being blinded by something, or you're not blinding yourself to something. Go over the paperwork, go over the agreements, go over the fine print, read the fine print, break out the magnifying glass, and see what it is that you can see, because as much as water is representing emotion right now, shallow emotion in this instance on this card, it can just as easily represent looking through something, a looking glass, a mirror, a magnifying glass. So, do it. Aquarius, this is your daily tarot card for October 2nd. Being elevated. Now, this is not one of my favorite cards, upright or reversed, because I don't really mean to be that much of a downer, Aquarius, but it's likely that somebody put on this all of this regalia onto this horse and put you on this mobile pedestal to make sure that people are looking at you. And while you are getting some amount of public recognition, and this is a victory for you, it may be short-lived, and this progress may only be as far as somebody else wants you to progress. So utilize this to kind of bolster your self-confidence, but also know that you wouldn't be here if you didn't deserve to be here, and it's quite possible that you deserve to be in a higher position, or you should have gotten more. So just because they're willing to give it doesn't mean you don't deserve more. Remember that. Pisces, this is your daily tarot card for October 2nd. Two of Swords in the upright. A decision, difficult decisions, multiple difficult decisions, and it seems like it's one, but really it's two. And it doesn't matter which choice that you make, it feels like you're screwing yourself out of something either which way. And this woman is blinded, right? And she had to be put there. You could be avoiding the fact that you've been put in this position and made to make these difficult decisions, make these difficult choices. And while it is important that you weigh your options, you also may need to start looking at why you were put in this deadlock, why you were put in this position where you were forced to make these decisions before making a move, before being able to move. And it's kind of like one of those situations of people who like to play chess, right? They like to think of everything as chess. Like there's moves, there's boards, there's rules, and they only think like that because they want to think that they're above and they're outside of the game. That they know all the moves that can be made and that will be made, and are trying to position you in a way that you will make the move that they want you to make. But just remember, you're just as outside of the board, outside of the game as they are, and it's likely that they're blinding you to some of your options for a reason, because they don't really have the ability to do much if you do have these options, if you do realize everything you have.